Hi, I'm Michael Wargo, team pilot for Precision Aerobatics, and today we're going to do another edition of the 3 Move series. Today we're going back to 3D aerobatics, and we're going to show you 3 maneuvers that I particularly like that I think you should add to your arsenal. Again, I'm trying to do things that aren't difficult, but we want to make sure they look cool and are worth learning. So let's go up. Right, the first maneuver that we're going to do is we're going to do a knife edge circle, and we're going to put a little snap or a roll in the middle of it. Start with a roll. So all I'm going to do is we're going to do like a little knife edge circle, and at one point we're just going to do a snap right back to the same knife edge.
20 seconds.
Now you can start by just rolling the ailerons, or you can do a snap by adding a little, basically a little down elevator, and it'll make it kind of barrel a little bit. Looks a little more violent, a little more interesting if you do that. But the way to start it is up high. I'm not going to do it up high, just so it's clear to see. You can do one on every corner. One here, one there. Again, I think it's a good looking maneuver, and again, it's nothing but a roll. And if you want it to barrel a little bit, so like here is just a pure roll. You're just starting it on knife edge. It's the same thing as a roll anywhere else. So we just do a roll, and it comes back out. You add a little push on the elevator, and it barrels a little bit. See? Okay, you can make it also a little fancy, because you're on this knife edge. Just go this side and stop. You don't have to go all the way around. That's another kind of a cool maneuver. I like to do a figure 8, which is you go this way, reverse the rudder, and now you can come back the other way. Go over, back the other way. You just reverse the rudder to stay up. Anyway, I think it's a very simple maneuver. It doesn't take much practice. All you have to do is go on knife edge, roll the aircraft, come back out on knife edge. You could do. The next maneuver I'm going to show you is something that, again, it seems a little simple, but this one, there's a lot of people who just don't want to do it because I guess they lose a little courage on the way down. But I'm going to show you a knife edge loop. So I'm going to put it on its knife edge,
Flight mode,
full rudder,
-3 minutes.
Hold it over the top. Now here's where it gets a little hairy. As you're coming off the other side, pull off the throttle, and then add the throttle back. That's the key part. When you're coming over the throttle, don't fly full throttle. When you're coming over the top, just like a regular loop, you want to just lower the throttle a little bit and just let the rudder be responsible for the loop. So here we go. Over, try and keep the geometry over the top. I'm going to cut the throttle a little bit, and as I start coming around the other side, add full throttle back in so it doesn't come out too low. But it's a really pretty maneuver. If you can manage to do a knife edge loop that at the bottom, so we're going to do this, go up over the top,
-4 minutes.
and when we come out the bottom, we're going to try and come out pretty low. Stop it right there. See how nice that looks? Again, I think it's a really good skill. And again, it's a little difficult to hold that knife edge through the whole thing and make it all look good, and to hold that straight line. I'm out. All right, this is Tom doing his with his katana, and he's going to do a half loop to get you used to the down line a little bit. So you just start like this and then come down as low as you want. Nice, Tom. Yeah, he's finishing really low. You don't have to finish that low for sure. Here's another one from Tom, little half loop. Because truthfully, the downside of that loop is the scariest part, and kind of Tom had a really good idea that it would be good to practice that before you try the full loop. This time he's going to do it from a vertical, and that looks really, really good. Almost like a stall turn. Down into the knife edge. Wow, that looks so good. Again, obviously Tom's comfortable 5 feet off the deck here. You don't have to come out that low. Something that surely I have never seen done. See it here first, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to do a knife edge loop and reverse it and do a super tight knife edge loop in the other direction, then continue back in the other direction. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to do a tight one in this direction. And now finish the knife edge loop on the way down. Wasn't pretty, but it worked. Try this again. All right, a knife edge loop with a reverse loop in the middle of the loop. All right, a knife edge loop with a reverse loop in the middle of the loop. See it here first. Edge loop, get to the top. We're going to loop in the other direction. And now we're going to finish the loop in this direction. Well, it wasn't pretty, but not sure I've ever seen it done. You know, another thing that you could probably do is with a plane like this, because it's, you know, the rudder is so strong. So we do a knife edge loop, halfway, we come back and reverse it and finish the loop in the opposite direction. There's a lot of variations, I would think, but once you understand that really all it is rudder and a little bit of throttle management. Anyway, with the parachute landing, the thing is head into the wind, straight up and as low as you think your plane will pull it off. This one here obviously will come around quicker than I've ever seen anything because of the additional control that PA's put into the elevator now. Again, straight up pull, off the throttle, quick around, and then let it settle straight to the ground. I'm not going to land it because I just don't want to abuse the gear, but that's the idea. I have many variations of that that you've seen. I do it and I'll do a little quick snap or rolling harrier at the bottom. I've even done it inverted and snap it back to level at the bottom. Go there. We can harrier this way. Whoops. Let me try that again. We can always do our loop, turn the harrier into a little circle, and then pinpoint land it. Like I said, there's many variations of that. You don't have to do it particularly low. This one you can. See, I can spin it that low, turn around, harrier, and set it down anywhere I want. You know, you could do it inverted. This is it in slow motion, and as you're falling and getting closer to the ground, once you get here, you can just flip it and then land. I'm not going to do it again because I just don't want to abuse the gear. I'm tired of replacing wheel pants and and stuff like that. But here it is again. It will look like this. You go straight up, over, down, as it's falling, get it close to the ground. We flip it over and we can land it. You know, from this configuration also, you can get it close to the ground, do another flip and land it again. You know, there's a lot of things that you can do with this. of course, unfortunately, you need the basic skill of a Harrier, because right here, all you're doing is adding throttle to stop it from falling straight down. And you can land super, 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 super slow. You can almost land on any spot you choose as well. But again, you need that skill of being able to do a Harrier and be very comfortable with it. I am absolutely astounded by how this thing, it literally, look, it just stops almost immediately. It's crazy. I can almost just flip it within itself. How nice and low, and it almost doesn't drop an inch. Crazy. Again, that's more the airframe though. Again, this is one of the few airframes that you can do things that tight. And the only reason you can do it that tight is because it's light on top of the additional control. If you tried that with a heavy aerobatic plane 5 feet off the ground, it's going to hit the ground.